There's hidden money in every single build. And here's one of the things, once you actually start getting experience buying land and building houses, the profitability is endless. And I'll tell you, we talk about it from just buying a piece of land, building a house and profiting from the house. But there's breakaway points in that business model where you have profits that are hidden. And this is one perfect example of how profits are hidden in the land. And I always talk about subdividing land. And most people think when you say subdividing land, they're thinking about buying this big parcel of land. And everybody thinks, I'm gonna make a bunch of money. I'm gonna get this 40 acres, 30 acres. And I get people coming to me all the time with these massive pieces of land. The second someone comes to me with a large, massive piece of land, my attention span goes south. I don't pay attention to nothing anymore because I look at them as a starting business person in land development, and there's money there. But that's a whole different business model. And you can make money doing that too. But most of them just want to build a house and they want to go out and build this ambitious subdivision. And there's a lot of expense to the roadways, the guardrails, the utilities, the engineering, the architecture, all of that costs money. And most of these folks don't know how to even get into the game. So when I'm talking to you about going in, buying a piece of land, building a house, sometimes there's hidden little gems in the land, just like this one. One of our students came in, he landed up buying a 10-acre parcel, paid the price of one lot for the 10-acre parcel because it's sat in a very complicated area. 5 acres of it is flood zone area down below, where there's actually a diversion channel that carries the vast majority of the water for the entire subdivision. So 5 acres of it is almost useless. Now, most of these lots are just shy of 1 acre lots. So they typically have a septic tank, but they have community water that's public to all of the houses in this area. And one of the great things is when this subdivision was actually developed, the utilities, we actually put those in anticipating, because you're doing it on a flat piece of paper at that time, and you're looking at the topography and you said, well, let's put in the utilities because in the midst of doing it, it doesn't cost a lot of money because it's already being absorbed through the entire subdivision. So here's what ended up happening. Let's get to the meat of this thing, right? So what ended up happening is his parcel came to me and I went out and said, you know what, let me take a look at it with you and let's go in and let's see where the best place for this house is. When I got out, I said, damn, 10 acres, I could build one house here, another house there. And I said, look, there's some work that has to be done in here, but this is free land. So instead of going in and just giving away 10 acres, why don't you go in, set this over where, you know, we give away 3 acres on the bottom, you keep 2 acres on the top. That's 5 acres for this one home. It's still a beautiful, massive lot for the one home, where most lots are less than an acre anyways. And so now they have expandable land that they can use as a home buyer. They're gonna love it. And then you take possession of the other 5 acres and then come in and let's subdivide it. But let's position it as if the subdivide already existed, so you don't have to waste time waiting 60 or 90 days to get the subdivide done. So we come in, we parcel the lot on paper, you know, just get a ruler, parcel it, drive a line down there, take it to the survey company and go, look, I think this is probably the best lot line that we have. This complies with the setbacks for the community, which is 20 feet from the side lot line in the sub-rural community. And we can go in and then let's build the house right there. It's parceled, it's sat. So we go in and we say, okay, there's gonna be some roadways that come in here. The survey company goes in and starts working on the subdivide. Now, the $150,000 that he paid for the land got absorbed with the $885,000 purchase price that the house sold for, and he made almost $200,000 on, just shy of. Now, he's gonna come in at no expense for maybe $3,000 to $5,000. You do a subdivide. You hire the architect. You hire the survey company to come in, do the subdivide for you. You don't even need an architect or an engineer at this point in time. And you just draw a lot line. You go down and you get municipal approval over the course of 60 days, maybe 2 municipal meetings. And then you have your own free land, free and clear. So the land is basically free. Everything above and beyond what you sell that house for, whatever you sell this for, is just money in your bank account. And so Josh came in and he said, this is a very challenging lot. And I always tell people, the money that you spend on the infrastructure that is not on a flat lot comes out of your bottom line profitability on a new build, because the banks, the appraisers, and the realtors don't go in and they don't assess the value of a home based on retaining walls, lack of utilities, or any of those variables. So that has to be absorbed in the lot price. And so we know that there's going to have to be a roadway put in on a slope. We know there's going to be retaining walls. So now what we do is we go in, we get the topography, and we assess how much the roadway is going to cost, the retaining walls are going to cost, and then the overall value of the house. And so we say, we take a basis of 0 on the land, and then we start adding, right? So the roadways are going to cost us an extra $20,000. That's an extra $20,000 that we have on free land. So now the lot cost is $20,000 because of the excess roadways. Now we come in and we say, okay, the retaining walls are going to cost $30,000 to retain where we cut the road roadways. And so now we're at $50,000, 30 for the retaining walls, 20 for the roadways. And then we're gonna have some slope mitigation where we do some riprap, cobblestone or something on the exterior portion of the house. And that's gonna cost another $20,000. So now we're at $70,000. Now the lots out here sell for $150,000, but the basis of the land is now at $70,000. So now you have a $70,000 lot basis. You're still ahead of the game by $80,000 from where your starting point is. So Josh came and said, Jerome, this is just too challenging for me. I want to learn it though. Why don't I sell it to you at a good price? And I said, yes, because this infrastructure is going to take time. I'm going to need to make some money on it. And so he came back out. He said, I'm willing to take like $65,000 for it. So now our basis, if we're at 80 plus 60 is $145,000. $5,000 is all we're making on it because I want to give him the price he needs for the land. And then because my guys will work on the land itself and actually do the work, we'll probably do what would normally be done for $80,000 for probably $60,000. So I'll actually make the $20,000 on the retail side of it for my company based on the savings that we do doing it internally on our own properties. Now, one of the big things is we come in, we do $60,000 worth of work. I make $20,000 extra on the lot, have another $5,000 in contingency costs. So I'm actually coming in with a $25,000 profitability just to get the lot ready to build on. And we'll use this as fill days. When we have a down day for our crew, we'll have them come out, we'll bring the loaders, the tractors out here, and we'll just get this stuff going. And we land up with free land. It's a win-win situation. I'm in it for less than I would normally be, so we have an opportunity to make some money and use a lot for fill days for our crews. He gets to make $65,000 worth of free money on top of his profitability on his build, and it didn't take any time because we did it in sequence with building the other house, and now we have land that we can utilize. Now let's take a look and let me explain to you how this lot's actually gonna work. So when we come in, we have the guardrails up there. There's a 7-foot utility easement, so we have to be 7 feet off that roadway, but we kept an easement for access on the other lot prior to subdividing. So the lots kept the gross acreage, but we kept a 45-degree angle on an easement to be able to come in and access this lot from the lot next door that just sold. So we'll have vehicular access right through the other lot onto this lot, and it's a legal registered easement now for roadways specifically. So it's a public utility easement and a public access easement now. And so now when we come in a public access easement will allow you to come through there indefinitely. So now we'll come in, we'll cut this roadway. Now, once we get in, our pad site's gonna be right here, but it drops probably about 20 feet from where the lot actually levels out on the top end to the bottom end. And the problem with it is it's too steep to get into the garage. And if we absorb that slope within a 100-foot point mark, it's going to be too much water that's going to run straight to the house, increasing liability for draining and flooding the house or massive destruction of moving water when you have heavy rains. So instead of doing that, we're going to carry this roadway all the way across the entire lot so that we start absorbing the depth of this lot and how declined it is over the stretch of about 500 feet. Then once we get to the other side of that, we'll do a loop straight into the garage, and we'll have a big enough turning radius that we can come in and take advantage of minimal retaining walls and a lot safer and more usable driveway than we would otherwise. And so the benefits to us is that we're able to conquer two things: the lower lot and the depth of it and the roadways, and take advantage of a less than perfect lot. And one of the beautiful things is that the utilities are already here, all of them. The water, the electric, the gas, the cable, the phones, the data, everything but sewer, which we corrected with a septic tank. Ladies and gentlemen, there is breakaway points in every single area that you're building in. Maybe not every single lot, but in every single area. And what was less desirable for one, with the creativity of problem solving, there's profitability both on the front end, the middle, and the back end of every single build. The question is, how creative are you and how well do you participate in problem solving to make profits? Because at the end of the day, the more problems you solve, the more profitable you become. And this is how you turn dirt into dollars and make opportunity where opportunity couldn't be sought by one, but made and taken advantage of by others. Small subdivides without having to deal with roadways, without having to deal with utilities, and without having to deal with the expense of what it takes to put that infrastructure in. We do these all the time. And I'll tell you that this is more prevalent than most people would otherwise think, but you have to be able to recognize and see it to take advantage of the opportunity. And that ultimately is how you increase profits and continue compounding your success. For more content just like this, more creative ideas to generate capital from investments in real estate, single family, multifamily, and land, then click and subscribe to our YouTube channel, pound that thumbs up button, give us a little bit of love, and until next time, we'll see you on the other side.